Good morning, brothers and sisters, lovers, haters, friends and neighbours. What a day to be alive. Sunday, the Sabbath. I hope everyone's good. I'm on a little walk. I'm picked up a little bit of a niggle. So just having a couple of slack days. I won't be raising the bar for a few days. I'm right where I need to be fitness wise. And it's worked out perfect because between 3 and 4 weeks out, we always have between 3 and 4 days off. So I'm exactly where I should be. You know, I do 5 2-minute rounds in the morning. I'm ready to go. Psychologically prepared for whatever's going to come at me on fight night. And I can't wait to get into gear with Conor. Listen, it's no secret how good he is, and he does everything, you know, better than me, really. He's got better feet, better movements, better punch variation, better angles, you name it. You know, he does a lot of stuff better than me. But I'm punching very hard for a welterweight, and you know, I think in this game, as we know, you know, it only takes one shot. He's getting the kitchen sink. You know, and I think he already knows that. You know, he knows what's on the line for me. And you know, what can I say? I've got to thank Conor. You know, I owe Conor a lot because, you know, he didn't have to take this fight. I know I'm not an easy fight for anybody, but what I'm saying is, you know, he didn't have to give me this opportunity, and I'm just so very grateful. You know, things kind of work out for a reason, and we're just going to have to see where this goes. Like I say, stylistically, it's not ideal. It's not exactly what I'm looking for. You know, I like people to meet me in the middle, but only time will tell how this fight pans out. I said the other week there, I've removed all expectations from this fight. I'm in the best shape of my life right now. No two ways about it. 40 years old. Who would have ever thought that I would have been here at 40 years old? You know, my third main event, 4th title fight. Like I say, what I've already done in the BKFC has far exceeded my wildest dreams. So this is bonus territory now. And no matter what happens, you know, I can accept it. I can take the worst possible outcome. No problem at all. You know, if Conor knocks me out in the first exchange or puts me to sleep in the first 10 seconds and switches me off even, you know, I can accept that, and I'll be pleased for Conor, you know, because I've got a lot of time and admiration for him. He's 10 years younger than me, and he's going to go on and do great things in this game no matter what happens between me and him. So there it is. Boom. Just out on a little couple of mile. I like a little walk on a morning. Take a few supplements and go and put a few mile in. I did hear on the grapevine, well, it was through a couple of clips on YouTube, to be fair, when I was scrolling yesterday dinner time-ish, that Brett May was going to be fighting on the BKFC. So I thought, okay, what a great opportunity for me to confront Brett May, you know, not in a violent or, shall we say, confrontational capacity, but I just wanted to go and see him in person. And I would have extended my courtesy. I would have put my hand out. I would have shook his hand. I would have had a crack with him. We might have had a bit of laugh, whatever. But I thought, what a great opportunity, you know. Chances are I won't be in the same locker room. You know, I'm hoping I get a locker room to myself, being main event. So time will tell. You know, I might get looked after that way. We'll see. But I thought, what a great opportunity for me to actually go and see the one they call Brett May. So I was on the phone to the BKFC staff yesterday, just crossing a few T's and dotting a few I's, and I asked the question, you know, is Brett May facing Big Ginge from Shard End? And, you know, I was laughed at. You know, don't be so stupid, Danny, was the reply that I got. You know, he will never fight on the BKFC again. And which is a shame, really, you know, and it's not my doing, because I am a big believer in second chances and, you know, opportunities for everybody. And who am I to ever put the spoke in for anybody? And even if I could, I wouldn't. You know, I don't I don't dislike him or on that level. You know, I don't hate anybody, and I certainly wouldn't get in the way of any opportunities for Brett May. You know, that is the truth. I would have loved to seen him on there, you know, and I would love to see anybody on there, you know, and like I say, who am I to get in anybody's way? But the simple fact of the matter is, you know, the truth is, you know, nobody's contacted Brett May. He hasn't spoke to a soul regarding a fight with Big Ginge at Birmingham. You know, he hasn't been contacted. He hasn't agreed to anything. Nobody's heard boo from Brett May, and nobody from the BKFC has contacted him. So, you know, it's just another whatever, you know, it's another pile of shite by Brett May. Bit of a shame the way Brett May and his channel and that's gone on YouTube, because obviously he was the, you know, the proper gangster-fied balaclava chava. He was the real deal, bona fide bad man. And, you know, through my own work and his own words, for that matter, have absolutely annihilated his online reputation, and he's turned into probably one of the biggest victims that YouTube's ever seen. And I think what he's done now is he's just went with it. You know, he's just rolled with it. He's like, okay, let's be the joker, the fool, the clown, the laughing stock, and let's just say anything and everything to try and get some views. You know, I remember somebody from Carlisle that used to do things and go on in a similar fashion, and, you know, it didn't work out too well for him. So, you know, what I would say to Brett or anybody is, you know, why don't you try being yourself? You know, the original, authentic Brett May, whatever it is underneath this bullshit exterior. That would be good to see. And that's the individual I was hoping to see at Birmingham, if what he said was true. But lo and behold, would you believe it, he was telling lies. Not like Brett May, but you know, these things happen, and these people are out there. You know, all we can do is wish them well and try and keep our own side of the street clean. I was also told that the shadow boxer certainly wouldn't be fighting Big Ginge from Shard End. And as I say, that's not my doing. You know, like I say, who am I to say anything about anybody? You know, I'm all for second chances and opportunities, and if either one of them could have got on, it would have been good to see them at Birmingham. No, I mean, no matter what, it is what it is. These things are what they are. They're out my hands. But you know, I'm told that, you know, it's all just a lot of shite, and that's come from the horse's mouth. So there's not a great deal on today, apart from having a bit of a stroll. Me and Alice were dossing some mad game last night. We've got some pizza stuff, dough and base and all the stuff to make pizza, and then we played rock, paper, scissors, and the loser had to make a pizza blindfolded. It was good crack. I've got a bit of footage on it somewhere. I'm going to put it up later on. I've also got a good crack between me and Smudgy Smith from the man cave the other day, talking about all things, you know, space and time and what is, and a brilliant talk with the poet Dean Smudgy Smith, who I've got a lot of time, admiration and respect for. But I think that's about it for now, brothers and sisters. I wish everybody well. I've got a couple of videos going on YouTube, I think, today. Just a slack Sunday, really. I'm going to go down for a swim this morning. Just can't raise the bar for a couple of days, and hopefully this injury will fade into the insignificance. It's just one of those, really. Camp wouldn't really be camp without a few injuries. These things are what they are. Praise the good Lord, brothers and sisters. Have a beautiful day. God bless everybody. Bye bye for now.